Now when Barney was at school they said he'd never make the grade. He was living in a kipper-coloured dream. Barney ought to learn to concentrate, his teachers used to say, as he drifted in the bottom stream. Barney was a waster, got no bits of paper, ended up attending a machine, turning little piggies into plastic packet sausages to sell in the heliport canteen. Barney seemed to lack ambition, didn't hear tomorrow call, didn't want the overtime for extra pay. He just left his limbs to labour when he donned his uniform, while his mind was floating freely far away. It was press, turn, screw, lift, early shift and late shift, every day the same routine, turning little piggies into plastic packet sausages to sell in the heliport canteen. It was on a summer's evening Barney crossed from work to home with a twisted tube of metal that he'd found. And he stuck it in the garden like a broken totem pole, and he planted piles of pebbles all around. That boy's no use, must have a screw loose, thinks his bit of metal's gonna grow. Barney felt the silence in his head begin to melt, and in his heart a spark of laughter seemed to glow. Barney's game became a passion, all the free time that he had. He was in the garden marking out a space, piecing broken things together with devotion in his hands and a sweet seraphic smile on his face. Mother said you can't, no. Father said the same, no. Littering a little bit of lawn. What are we gonna do with him? Why can't he be normal? He's been troubled since the day he was born. Every day he brought back something, he was nicking things from work, he was picking up what others threw away. Cans and kettles, boots and bottles, all the refuse of the earth, he assembled in a giant junk display. Copper wire, car tires, plastic pots, broken mops, worn out wheels and one old water tank. What a silly game to play, what a waste of effort, he'd do better if he went and robbed a bank. Look at Barney's wit contraption, high on iron girder legs, reaching steel and tin can feelers to the sky. As it wobbles in the breezes, its Felicia beacon heads seem to nod and wink at all the passers-by. Every day he'd do a bit, every day it grew a bit, sprouting like a jungle in the rain. The neighbours watched in horror as this multicoloured monster escaped from his loony bin brain. Barney's work began to waver, he was failing his machine, the foreman said he wasn't giving of his best. So the job enrichment expert analysed his work in speed and devised a scheme to give him added zest. It was press and screw lift, early shift and late shift, every day the same routine, turning twice as many piggies into plastic packet sausages to sell in the heliport canteen. Barney's folly neighed the neighbours, was disfiguring the street. There was baying from the Purity Crusade, and the careful lads informed him that the bylaws had been breached, while the blowflies buzzed round every move he made. Watch out, Barney, special Roger after you, got you fully photographed and filed. Officialdom is closing in, oblivious of everything. Barney Bill's as happy as a child. It was on a winter's morning Barney worked the early shift when inspectors came with agents of the law. They dismantled Barney's monster, dumped it on the council tip, left the garden neat and tidy as before. Home comes Barney, can't believe his eyes to see space where his creation once held sway. Shadows seem to fall on him, silence seemed to swallow him. Frightened Barney turns and runs away. Now they say that Barney scavenges the scrap heaps of the town, never answers to his name and no one knows why he wants to throw his life away, just wandering around, building crazy patterns everywhere he goes. And still it's best turns screw lift, early shift and late shift, other limbs are minding his machine, turning little piggies into plastic packet sausages to sell in the heliport canteen. Come to the market and sample an orgy. Come to the fair for a threepenny thrill. Sell him a tomb or a tumbler of strychnine. If you don't, there's plenty of others that will. If you don't, there's others that will. But what shall we do with the ugly ones? The ones who have nothing to sell. The failures, the fumbling, muddly ones, who never do anything well, who never remember their name or number and lose their place in the queue. And what can you do for the ugly ones when they can't do a thing for you? Roll up to the mechanized peep show. Bow down in the temple of lust. What am I bid for the lips of a bardo and Anita's marvelous, marvelous bust, and Anita's marvelous bust? But what shall we do with the ugly ones who just haven't got what it takes? Whose breasts won't boost the marketing charms or win the nobility stakes? Whose legs won't sustain the ad man's campaign or front the glamour parade? And no one invests in the ugly ones, the ones who won't make the grade. Dress yourself smart for the pacesetter's party. Dance to the swing of the trendsetter's call. The prince is cool in an Aston Martin. I and Cinderella, she's the belle of the ball. Cinderella's the belle of the ball. But what shall we do with the ugly ones? The crippled, the sick and the old, who haven't got anything left to do but shroud themselves off from the cold. Give them a penny, they haven't any. It's time for the charity game. But we can't change the rules for the ugly ones, and nobody here's to blame. The moth-eared midget is starting to fidget. Soon it'll be his turn to go. The flesh and the fur are starting to stir. Hurry up, dear, or we'll miss the show. Be quick or we'll miss the show. But what shall we do with the ugly ones? The freaks with nothing to sell. The stupefied, stunted, shell-shocked ones in their halitosis hell. They can't stand the pace of the status race or cash in on the rush to rebel. And there's nothing to do for the ugly ones, the ones with nothing to sell. It's good of you to ask me, sir, to tell you how I spend the day. Well, in a coal-black tunnel, sir, I hurry corves to earn my pay. The corves are full of cocaine, sir, I push them with my hands and head. It isn't ladylike, but sir, you've got to earn your daily bread. I push them with my hands and head, and so my hair is worn away. You see this balding patch I've got, it shames me, sir, I just can't say. A lady's hands are lily white, but mine are full of cuts and sags. And since I'm pushing all the time, I've great big muscles on my legs. I try to be respectable, but sir, the shame, God save my soul. I work with naked, sweating men who curse and swear and hew the coal. The sight, the smell, the sound, kind sir, not even God could sense my shame. I say my prayers, but what's the use? Tomorrow will be just the same. Sometimes I don't feel very well. My stomach's sick, my head it aches. But I must hurry best I can. My legs are weak, my back near breaks. And when I'm slow, well then I'm scared. These naked men will batter me. They can't be blamed, for if I'm slow, their families will starve, you see. All the boys, they laugh at me, and sir, the mirror tells me why. Pale and dirty can't look nice. It doesn't matter how I try. Great big muscles on my legs, a balding patch upon my head. A lady, sir, oh no, not me. I should have been a boy instead. I do appreciate you, sir. I love your kind and gentle heart. But now it's 1842, and you and me, we're miles apart. 100 years or more will pass before we're walking side by side. But please accept my grateful thanks. God bless you, sir, at least you tried. She was waiting for Sir Lancelot to sweep her off her feet. I sought the girl who set my heart aflame, but in the end we settled for each other. Reality's a different sort of game. Half measures keep you sober, just in case we'll keep you dry. Better to be safe than sorry, that's no lie. We were going to forge the future, we were going to change the world. But first we had to earn our daily bread, and then we didn't see what we could do to change things, so we took up Gestalt therapy instead. Facts are facts, you've got to face them. All there is what you see. File your dreams and keep them under lock and key. Now I fancied living freely in a treehouse on the moors, but she preferred a penthouse suite in town. So we bought a semi nowhere in particular, and as the years grew up, we settled down. Keep your wishes in proportion, no use wanting what is not. Better learn to be content with what you've got. Well, we planned on having children, but we thought we ought to wait. until we'd filled our nest and could provide. And then it seemed a good investment for the future. So we had 2 sons who filled our hearts with pride. Prudence is a saving virtue, common sense is common sense. When embarking, first consider the expense. She liked to turn in early, while I stayed up till late. And when I woke, she'd been up hours before. But we settled all our differences by buying separate beds. Now we hardly ever argue anymore. Compromise keeps you together, give and take, that's what they say. Where there's tension, moderation smooths the way. Now we've worked to earn our comforts and we're holding what we have. We've paid our way and kept our noses clean. We've no time for troublemakers and extremists, and we don't regret the things that might have been. High ideals won't feed the meter, burning boats won't take you far. Why upheave things? Better leave things as they are. Last night I dreamed of darkness, I saw death come to my bed. 2 green and gaping eyes and half a grin. He beckoned with his mean and mouldering fingers, and when I woke, his clammy touch was on my skin. Watch the signs, proceed with caution. High ideals won't feed the meter. Compromise keeps you together. Prudence is a saving virtue. Keep your wishes in proportion. Facts are facts, you've got to face them. Half measures keep you sober. Just in case will keep you dry. Better to be safe than sorry. Across the hills, black clouds are sweeping, carry poison far and wide, and the grass is blackened underfoot, and the roses withered and died.
But the rose is still as red, love, and the grass is still as green, and it must have been a shadow in the distance you have seen. Yes, it must have been a shadow you have seen.
But can't you hear the children weeping? Can't you hear that mournful sound? And no birds sing in the twisted trees, in the silent streets around.
I can hear the children laughing in the streets as they play, and you must have caught the dying of an echo far away. Yes, it must have been an echo far away.
But can't you see the white ash falling from the hollow of the skies, and the blood runs red down the blackened walls where a ruined city lies?
I can see the red sun shining in the park on the stream, and you must have felt a shiver from the darkness of a dream. Yes, it must have been the darkness of a dream.
Death shall reap a hellish harvest,
still as green.
Make a desert of this land.
Yes, the rose is still as red, love, and the grass is still as green, and it must have been a shadow you have seen.
Whoever invented the Fishfinger ought to be transmogrified, skinned, mashed and boxed into uniform blocks, then covered in breadcrumbs from collar to socks, and frozen and finally fried. Because who'd do that to a fish, finning its way through the seas? Colours in harmony, perfectly poised, riding its flying trapeze. And progress is all very well, but not when it chops up our dreams. And it's hard to feel at ease in the world when nothing is what it seems. Whoever invented the Daily Mail ought to be cut down to size, pulped and reduced to a nauseous juice, and dried out and flattened till ready for use, then covered with newsprint and lies. Because who'd do that to a tree, raising its head to the sky, rooted in centuries, telling tall tales, breathing a green lullaby? And progress is all very well, but not when it chops down our dreams. And it's hard to feel at ease in the world when nothing is what it seems. Whoever invented the policeman ought to be licked into shape, toughened and trained till the body's a cane, till the arms are a chain, till the nerves feel no pain, till obedience rules and encircles the brain with walls, so he'll never escape. Because who'd do that to a child, jumping with joy and desire, floating in fantasies, drowning in dreams, brimming with feelings of fire? And progress is all very well, but not when it locks up our dreams. And it's hard to feel at ease in the world when nothing is what it seems.
Every day they're at the ready, the world's police, restoring calm, maintaining order, keeping the peace. With their strong arms locked to hold back the mob, to hold back the mob, to hold back. Every day they're at the ready, the world's police, restoring calm, maintaining order, keeping the peace. With their belts and badges and batons and boots in perfect array, their uniform bodies and disciplined minds trained to obey. And their strong arms locked to hold back the mob, to hold back the mob, to hold back. Every day they're at the ready, the world's police, restoring calm, maintaining order, keeping the peace. With their belts and badges and batons and boots in perfect array, their disciplined bodies and uniform minds trained to obey. The order when it should come to use the gas that burns the eyes, the gas that chokes the guns, the dogs, the water cannons, the rubber bullets, to control the situation. And their strong arms locked to hold back the mob, to hold back the mob, to hold back. Every day they're at the ready, the world's police, restoring calm, maintaining order, keeping the peace. With their belts and badges and batons and boots in perfect array, their uniform, disciplined bodies and minds trained to obey. The order when it should come to use the gas that burns the eyes, the gas that chokes the guns, the dogs, the water cannons, the rubber bullets, the plastic bullets, the electrified barbed wire, the high velocity rifles,
The submachine guns, the armoured cars, the tanks, the petroleum jelly, the fragmentation bombs, the high radiation bomb. To control the situation. And their strong arms locked to hold back the mob, to hold back the mob, to hold back the mob, to hold back, to hold back.
In the end, there is no holding back. A final calm descends upon the earth. All problems solved, a new order is born, with none of the messiness of birth. No trees sway out of line, there are no trees. No roses sprawl in riotous display, there are no roses. Nothing moves, no one stirs, no sounds of birds disturb the peace, there are no birds. And still they stand triumphant and immense, the silent lines of marble monuments. And soon the writhing seas will cease to writhe, the flecks of grey ash float to rest, and there will be
perfect peace, complete calm, the maximum of order. Every day they're at the ready, the world's police, restoring calm, maintaining order, keeping the peace. With their strong arms locked to hold back the mob, to hold back the mob, to hold back the mob, to hold back, to hold back. I remember when my world was hardly grown, and the daughter of a dead dull king ascended to the throne. And though I was just a lad at school, I saw it all with scorn, the solemn sacred emptiness, the monumental yawn, and the slime exuding daily from the sycophantic slugs, and the coronation ashtrays and the coronation mugs, and the rows of ermine mummies with their maggot-eaten brains, all the swarms of bloated blowflies the majestic turd sustains, droves of decorated duchesses, like newly painted slums, kneeling flunkies, praying monkeys, loyal holes for royal crumbs, and the well-heeled sharks discreetly selling tickets for the show. Park Lane balconies with champagne at £1,000 a throw. Come and cheer the golden fairy queen, forget your daily cares, for she radiates a glory that a grateful nation shares. And the pageantry, the panoply, the sanctified decay, but I knew the hour was coming that would sweep it all away. Now time has me in a corner, and I'm moth-eared from the fray, but Her Majesty is reigning still today, with a glass cage around her and an absence in her eyes, and no regiments surround her, they can't take her by surprise. She's as poised as a picture, she's a sight for all to see, with a glass cage around her on her silver jubilee. With a glass cage around her, she feels free. I remember 1956, division east and west, British paratroops in Suez, Russian tanks in Budapest, and the peaceful marchers singing, for the dream that must come true of a world freed from the nightmare we've since grown accustomed to. And the Cuban Missile Crisis with the rumours flying round, the Queen was in her secret bomb-proof palace underground, and the violence exploding when anger made a stand for a peasant people burning in a torn and tortured land. And the monarch walked her corgis behind the palace wall, never once betraying what she felt or if she felt at all. While her husband shot his mouth off like a walking blunderbuss, she gave birth to royal children with a minimum of fuss, maintained her waxwork dignity as she trod the royal dance, fulfilled her royal functions in a kind of royal trance. Balmoral, Ascot, Sandringham, the ship launching routine, palace banquets, garden parties, ever smiling and serene. Unique symbol, model woman, never seen, always seen. So we watched her as she played at being queen, with a glass cage around her and an absence in her eyes. And though regiments surround her, they can't take her by surprise. She's as poised as a picture, she's a sight for all to see, with a glass cage around her on her silver jubilee. With a glass cage around her, she feels free. She seems so commonplace, a woman in her fuddy-duddy hats, that she doesn't stand in bus queues or live in high-rise flats, that she doesn't ride the rush hour or cycle down the Strand, that she doesn't play maracas in the Ivy Benson band, and she doesn't shop for bargains, she's never on the dole, and if she does the football pool, she doesn't tell a soul, and she doesn't need to bother with the inland revenue, though she's royally rewarded for the things she doesn't do, with palaces and properties, and to keep her in good cheer, her working wage of £1.7 million a year, a royal train, a royal plane, a costly royal yacht, and lucrative investments in only God knows what. Oh, the magic of the monarchy, the mystery sublime, growing gracefully and effortlessly richer all the time. She's the rock of hope and glory in the quicksand of despair. For although the pound may tumble, although panic fills the air, although governments may crumble and the cupboards nearly bare, though the stairs begin to rattle and the rats begin to stare, she enfolds in mystic unity her subjects everywhere. And we know we're safe from harm while Nan is there, with a glass cage around her and an absence in her eyes, and though regiments surround her, they can't take her by surprise. She's as poised as a picture, she's a sight for all to see, with a glass cage around her on her silver jubilee. With a glass cage around her, she feels free.
In the house where I was born, but home I knew, there's corrugated iron blinding all the windows. In the garden Dad made around the lawn where green grass grew, there's muck and rubble and mud of bricks and cinders, for the developers have come to town, and soon I'll see it come down, see it come down. My old mum, they moved her to a high-rise flat, where she misses her mates and hopes we'll see her someday. She lives alone with a lovely view and a clean doormat, afraid that death will catch her napping someday. The lady with meals on wheels, the one friend she's found, though she cries for the old place, she won't see it come down, see it come down. Down to dust like smoke around a demolition site where I drive my crane, swinging the big steel pole that smashes walls in. Winch it back, careful, get the cable right, let it swing again. There's a little more no man's land as each brick falls in. A car park, then an office block. When I've cleared the ground, they paid me to see it, and now I've seen it come down, seen it come down. We was all one where we lived, wish we were now. We had debts and Dolan kids, but we did have neighbours. Where the street was, they wanna build some tombstone tower, like a monster concrete money box for strangers. Every last square foot of it worth £100. Someday we'll see that come tumbling down, see it come down.
You noble diggers all, stand up now, stand up now. You noble diggers all, stand up now. Your wastelands to maintain, seeing cavaliers by name. You're digging to disdain, and your persons all defame. Stand up now, diggers all. Your houses they pull down, stand up now, stand up now. Your houses they pull down, stand up now. Your houses they pull down, to fright poor men in town. But the gentry must come down, and the poor shall wear the crown. Stand up now, diggers all. With spades and hoes and ploughs, stand up now, stand up now. With spades and hoes and ploughs, stand up now. Your freedom to uphold, seeing cavaliers are bold, to kill you if they could, and rights from you withhold. Stand up now, diggers all. Their self-will is their law. Stand up now, stand up now. Their self-will is their law. Stand up now. Since tyranny came in, they counted now no sin, to make a jail a gin, and to starve poor folk therein. Stand up now, diggers all. The gentry are all round, stand up now, stand up now. The gentry are all round, stand up now. The gentry are all round, on each side they are found. Their wisdom so profound, to cheat us of the ground. Stand up now, diggers all. The lawyers they conjoin, stand up now, stand up now. The lawyers they conjoin, stand up now. To arrest you they advise, such fury they devise. But the devil in the light, and that blinded both their eyes. Stand up now, diggers all. The clergy they come in, stand up now, stand up now. The clergy they come in, stand up now. The clergy they come in, and say it is a sin that we should now begin
our freedom for to win. Stand up now, diggers all.
Against lawyers and against priests, stand up now, stand up now. Against lawyers and against priests, stand up now. The tyrants are they both, even flat against their oath. To grant us they are loath, free meat and drink and cloth. Stand up now, diggers all. The club is all their law. Stand up now, stand up now. The club is all their law. Stand up now. The club is all their law, to keep poor folk in awe, but they no vision saw.